Yeah. Running Back Nation, what is good? Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. It is Friday, May 30th. We are 26 days away from the NBA draft. And the sun is out. Yes, it was raining and overcast for what felt like 2 months. I was going to say 3 and 2 at the same time. 2 months in a row. The sun's out today. It's a Friday. And we got just some fun little scenarios to go over. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. Hit the like button for me one time. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Shout out to the members in the chat. Aaron Cabbage, A, Carlos Rosado, Mr. Turner, Ricky Council. Ricky Council is in the building. Zion news? What's the Zion news? I did not see the Zion news. Let me read that real quick. Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson. Oh, oh shit. Hey, yo. Well, you can't laugh about things like this. I don't even think I can say this word on YouTube without getting demonetized. Zion Williamson, who I have criticized plenty of times on this show for his mentality, and anybody that's ever brought up trade for Zion ideas, I said hell to the no. Hell no. Hell no. Because he is a head case. He got, right when he got to the NBA, he knocked up a porn star and had a whole scandal about that. He's been heard in interviews saying I'm healthy, but I'm just not playing yet because I don't feel like myself. He couldn't get under 300 pounds to get cleared to play for the Pelicans for like 2 years in a row. And now Zion Williamson is accused of the R word. The plaintiff claims Williams abused, controlled, and threatened her throughout their relationship. Okay, they're saying Jane Doe. Now, I've read the other stories about Zion and who the woman was in the scandals, the adult film actress, and I'm just going to go ahead and say, if this is her saying these things, then we can crumble this up and toss it right out the window. But we'll see. Innocent until proven guilty, but yeah, that's not good news for our boy Zion Williamson. Ain't nobody doing a deal with Danny Ainge. Looking for that Markkanen trade and move down. I think Danny Ainge sat way too long on Lauri Markkanen, and I don't think a Lauri Markkanen trade is happening. EJ Marrero, what's up, man? I don't see why the Spurs would draft Harper and not take Ace at 2. They already have Fox and Castle. You don't use the second pick. Dude, it's a solid take, man. That is a solid take, and I think that's probably the biggest story going into the NBA draft. I think that's probably the biggest story. What are the Spurs going to do at number 2? Because Dylan Harper is a higher prospect than Ace Bailey. He seems more NBA ready. But yeah, the Spurs have De'Aaron Fox and Stephen Castle, and if they want to continue to build around that core, I think you add an Ace Bailey to the mix. Although, with Victor Wembanyama, your timeline isn't exactly like draft 18-year-old Ace Bailey and develop him for 5 years, because Victor Wembanyama is so good right off the bat. I'm like all-star level as a rookie, that good, So the Spurs could try to advance their timeline, because you have De'Aaron Fox too, who is an NBA veteran. He's been in the league for what, 6, 7, 8 years. Stephen Castle was really good as a rookie. Did he win Rookie of the Year? I think he did. The Spurs could try to just speed up their timeline, because I think Wemby doesn't need a whole lot of development to be a championship level player. Probably the next 2 or 3 years, if you put the right team around him, you could get there. So the Spurs could trade out a number 2 altogether to add somebody that helps them win right now. And who could that be? Could that be Kevin Durant? Could that be a Devin Booker? Could you pair Giannis Antetokounmpo and Victor Wembanyama? Lots of things could happen leading up to the NBA draft or on draft night. So, it will be fun. Fox is a little overrated in my opinion. I also think he is. Bro, how are you going to be a 100 millionaire and pick $2 buffet special? Zion, man. I don't remember her name, but Zion was watching her on the internet when he was a teenager. This is how it happened. I don't know if this is how it happened. I'm just making this up. He was a big fan as a child, okay? And he said, when I get to the NBA and I get that real money, she's mine. Anyway, let's get down to business before we ramble on for 2 hours. A couple of things here, man. First of all, this came out yesterday. A little nugget from Brian Windhorst about the upcoming NBA draft, and he said, some years we expect July 1st to be the big time for the off-season activity. I think the NBA draft will be very big this time. Either pick 2 or 3, I think, has a chance to be in play. This might have been in context of talking about a Giannis trade. Either pick 2 or 3, I think, has a chance to be in play. Windhorst sees a lot of fireworks going on NBA draft night, and he's throwing out there that teams could trade out of pick 2 or 3, and I don't know what's going to happen with them. Well, of course you don't, because you're not a fortune teller. Maybe the Sixers will trade up with the Spurs. Maybe the Sixers will trade back. Maybe they'll trade out. That's going to be an interesting night. I don't see the Sixers trading out because I think the Joel Embiid being healthy, Paul George not being washed scenario is too up in the air. It could happen. Joel could be healthy and Paul George could not be washed, but chances are Joel Embiid is not healthy and Paul George is washed, at which point you're not drafting or making moves to win now. So I don't think the Sixers are going to know enough about Joel Embiid and Paul George on June 25th to make a trade to win now. So I don't think the Sixers are trading back. Or maybe I'm not saying I don't think they'll trade back. I don't think they're going to trade out of the pick completely to bring in like a win now player, like a Kevin Durant or somebody like that. I also don't think the Sixers trade up with the Spurs, because if the Sixers were at 2, I think they would draft Dylan Harper, but you have Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. I don't think you go out of your way to draft Dylan Harper. Like, I don't think Dylan Harper is that level of like a generational talent, Now, if you had, say, if there was a possibility to trade up to number 1, then I think Cooper Flagg is that level of player that can completely change a franchise individually. But I don't think they trade up with the Spurs. I don't think they trade out. I think there is a possibility that they trade back, and that's what we're going to look at. He said, Brian Windhorst said this at the 2:15 mark. Let's click on this and let's just hear what he said. And I can't play the video because YouTube likes to hit me with the C word. But we're going to listen to what Windy said. What Windy said at the 2:15 mark.
Right? Hey, you drink Sprite.
After
you want to hoop like me? Practice. You want a refreshing drink? Obey your thirst.
After Anthony Edwards commercial.
East, no matter how
2:15. Here we go. Here's what he said.
Number 3, you just mentioned it, Malika. June 25th, the draft. Some years we expect July 1st to be the big time for off-season activity. I think the draft time will be very big this time.
They're showing a photo of Daryl Morey, Nick Nurse, and Elton Brand.
Saw there the Spurs at number 2. There are the 76ers at number 3. Either of those picks, I think, have a chance to be in play. And I don't know what's going to happen with them. Maybe the Spurs will trade it for a player. Maybe the Spurs will trade it back. Maybe the Sixers will trade up with the...
Again, I think the Spurs are more likely to trade that pick for a player.
With the Spurs. Maybe the Sixers will trade back. Maybe they'll trade out. That's going to be an interesting night. Number 2. Put it up there, as Perk would say.
Bam!
You know, now we're going to get into the big trades.
Say it, man.
Kevin Durant, I'm like 98% sure he's not going to be a Sun next year. How it works out, though, I'm about 1% sure. There's going to be a number of teams interested, but some of it is going to depend on whether they see Durant as a player they keep on a one-year contract, or if they want to get him and give him a contract extension, which I suspect he's going to want. And number 1, the guy that most players...
37-year-old Kevin Durant. That's interesting, man. That's really interesting because you're at a point in your career, and he's at a point in his career where how much value does he really have at 37 years old? You know what I mean? And Brian Windhorst just said that he wants a contract extension. And Durant's been relatively healthy since the, couple of injuries that he had a couple of years ago. But still, like I don't think Kevin Durant is going to get a team a number 2 overall draft pick at 37. You just can't. It's Kevin Durant, yeah, but you just can't have that much value when you're this close to retirement. If Kevin Durant was 30, yeah, that's why Giannis's value is so high right now. But Kevin Durant at 37, I can't even make a prediction on like what the Suns will get in a Kevin Durant trade. Anyway, that's what Brian Windhorst said. Now, the title of this video, of this stream, is because there was a new 76ers big board, not 76ers, NBA draft big board rankings on ESPN. And this is where that last rumor came from that we talked about, which was when you get to number 3 on this ESPN big board, the writer of the article, Jonathan Gavani, gave us a little insert based on things that he's been hearing around the draft combine and things like that, and it has to do with the 76ers and Ace Bailey. So here it is, the 2025 NBA draft big board rankings, and a couple of players changed order in this big board, and I think it's kind of interesting. So here it is. Of course, number 1 remains Cooper Flagg, 6'9", 18 years old, confidence through the roof, has the it factor, has the killer instinct. I think he has everything that you would want in a franchise cornerstone if you're drafting at number 1. So anybody that's like, we should put a package together to draft up for number 1. Nobody's trading Cooper Flagg, bro. Nobody. Carlos, what's up, man? Maury, whatever you do, please don't fuck this up. I don't think he is. I really don't think he is, man. We got 25 days until the draft. Honestly, I think we're just doing this type of stuff because we like talking about it and we're bored. I don't think realistically, I think it's an 87% chance that Daryl Morey takes Ace Bailey at number 3. I think it's 87%. That's what I think it is. Thank you for the support, my man. Appreciate it, as always. So Cooper Flagg's at number 1. That ain't changing. Dylan Harper at number 2. Again, nobody really knows, man. I think he's the most NBA-ready player behind Cooper Flagg. That's why he's number 2. 6'6", 220 is an amazing size for a point guard. He has scoring on all 3 levels. They're comparing him to Dwayne Wade and James Harden. I don't think any team should pass on Dylan Harper, even with the Spurs having De'Aaron Fox and Stephen Castle. But with the Spurs having De'Aaron Fox and Stephen Castle, like I said, and Wembanyama, they could be looking like, hey, we're a lot closer to winning right now than we are on a timeline of where we should be developing 18-year-olds. You know, so I think the Spurs could trade out of that pick for a player that catapults them into into like finals contention, especially with how wide open the NBA playoffs have been this season and last season. Well, not last season. The Celtics dominated, but that's because everybody was hurt and then they got exposed once everybody was healthy. Anyway, number 3 is Ace Bailey. So top 3 haven't changed on this big board. And here's what he says about Ace Bailey that everybody's talking about today. Bailey has held down this spot on our board for essentially the entire season due to his considerable scoring upside as a gifted shot maker with plus size on the wing, coming in at 6'9" in shoes. Although he measured a hair smaller than his listed height may have suggested, his measurements were comparable with previous information and didn't come as a surprise to NBA teams. No player in the class can match the tough shot-making prowess of that Ace Bailey regularly displays, giving him a pathway to becoming a valuable player in due time. Bailey has remained. I like that he calls out his difficult shot making. A lot of people, the ones, you can spin anything into a negative. There's a lot of people spinning his difficult shot making ability into a negative by saying he takes bad shots and he doesn't pass the ball. And it bothers me that people think, somebody yesterday, a man named Thiago on Twitter, I don't know his real name, I don't really know who he is at all. I am blocked by him on Twitter because myself and Thiago have gone back and forth over the years on one Ben Simmons. This is a person on Twitter who defended Ben Simmons for 5 years using nothing but advanced analytics. All right, and his impact on the game. And he basically agreed with Doc Rivers. You guys don't appreciate what he actually brings to the... Oh, yeah? How about you put the ball in the fucking hoop when you're down by 2 in a playoff game, huh? I don't give a shit about the advanced analytics. Put the ball in the goddamn hoop. You know what I mean? This is my problem with advanced analytics. But anyway, the same guy that defended Ben Simmons for 5 years had a take on Ace Bailey yesterday. And it was, you're looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers right now. And the teams are full of guys who share the ball. And Ace Bailey does not share the ball. That's as simple as the take was. And I was like, oh yeah? Guess who else didn't share the ball in high school and college? Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Anthony Edwards. And there's wings that are their main skill is shooting the ball and scoring points. Who looks at an 18-year-old wing and says, yeah, but his assist-to-turnover ratio? You know what I mean? Anyway, I got a little off track there. Heartbreak Kid, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat. Not even trolling. Ace Bailey is better than Cooper outside of his defense. Philly would make a huge mistake trading him. Just watch and see. That is a bold prediction. I remember months before, the college... NCAA season and, way before the NCAA tournament, there was a lot of Ace Bailey, tank for Ace Bailey, and Ace Bailey is the number 1 pick. And then Cooper Flagg emerged, leading Duke and going deep into the tournament and things like that. I wouldn't say Ace Bailey is better than Cooper Flagg right now. He could very well develop into a better player than Cooper Flagg. Nobody knows the future. But I would, if we're talking about right now, if you say Ace Bailey has a higher upside than Cooper Flagg, I think Cooper Flagg is the number 1 pick because he has it right now, and he has upside. I think Ace Bailey's a clear number 2 because he doesn't have it right now, but he has just as much upside, and could develop into just as good, if not better, of a player by the end of the story, But I think Cooper Flagg is a clear number 1 right now. But I hope you're right, because if the Sixers get him, I hope you're right. Anyway, let's continue. Bailey has remained polarizing for NBA executives all season, with the wide understanding that he'll need time to adjust before contributing winning minutes on a good team. That's what I think also. I don't think he's ready right now. And I think that's a lot of young fans' problem with the NBA draft. They look at all of these players and they watch their highlights and they think, yo, we got to get that guy on our team right now. And they have this kind of subconscious thought or fantasy that this player is going to come in and do what they see on these highlights in the NBA in year one. And I feel like when I was a younger NBA fan, I used to think the same thing. I used to be like, oh, we got to draft this guy and pair him with this guy. And then you find out it takes him 7 years to become the NBA player that you thought he was going to be. And he got traded twice. And, like Lonzo Ball and players like that. The Lakers, thought Lonzo Ball was going to revolutionize their franchise. And then he got traded 2 or 3 times. But yeah, what else we want to read about Ace Bailey here? He's remained polarizing. Sorry if I have a little bit of ADD today. It is what it is, man. With the wide understanding that he'll need time to adjust, I agree. There are varying levels of confidence around the NBA as to whether he will reach his ceiling ultimately, creating a layer of risk that has held him back from becoming the consensus option at number 3. Bailey has held down this spot on our board the entire season. So he's been number 3 on our big board all season. But then you say he's not the consensus number 3. A little bit of contradictory there, if you ask me. The way the lottery played out didn't necessarily help Bailey, but his range remains narrow. The possibility that Philadelphia, angling to win more games next season, opts to go in a different direction could move him down the board. This is very interesting right here. There's so many things to this. The possibility that Philadelphia, angling to win more games next season. Is he saying that he thinks definitely the 76ers are trying to win more games next season? Or is he saying it's a possibility that the 76ers will angle to try to win more games next season? Either way, Sixers could go in a different direction. They could move him. That could move him down the board a spot or two. So this isn't even talking about a trade. This is straight up saying the 76ers could draft somebody else in place at number 3. Straight up over Ace Bailey, moving him down a spot or two. But if you don't think Ace Bailey is win now, I don't see any player after him on these big boards that are win now. I don't think VJ Edgecombe is win now. The guy's 6'5", $180. He's 6 inches taller than me, and I weigh 10 pounds more than him. That's a skinny person. He needs to gain weight. He needs development time. I don't think Trey Johnson is a win now player. Let's scroll on down to talk about, okay, so who is? If the Sixers were going to just straight up pass on Ace Bailey and draft somebody else, I think the closest player there is VJ Edgecombe. I think it wouldn't be like, I think it would be shocking, but it wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. It wouldn't be that shocking for VJ Edgecombe to go number 3, I don't think. He is closer to 20 years old. Does that make him more NBA ready? I don't know. But either way, I think VJ is right there. He's the closest. I don't think Trey Johnson is NBA ready. The big board here has moved Kaman Maluach up to number 6. And that's a picture of not him. That's a picture of Cooper Flagg. But who has been saying since the college basketball season concluded that Kaman Maluach should be in the top 5 or 6 in the draft? Me. I'll give you a clue. It was me. And where's my mouse at? I was saying that before we knew the Sixers had the number 3 pick. When we were going into the lottery, I was saying if the Sixers land at 5, I might take Maluach. Maluach is a 7'2", 250-pound center at 18 years old. And he's real 7'2". He measured 7.5 feet barefoot at the combine. This dude is a real 7'2" and can jump out the gym. Did he finish a Final Four game with 0 rebounds because he doesn't know how to box out? Absolutely. Can you teach him how to box out? Not Joel Embiid, but somebody who boxes out might be able to teach him how to box out. But what I think is if the 76ers were going to pass on Ace Bailey and take somebody at number 3, Maluach would be crazy at number 3, don't get me wrong. But I think Maluach after Ace Bailey is really the only, like, win now player just based on his sheer size and athleticism. He's not ready yet. I think he's another player that's going to take some time to develop like an offensive game and again, learning how to box out or anything like that. But if you were, I guess you could look at it like the Dallas Mavericks 2 years ago when they drafted Derek Lively with number 7, I believe, in the NBA draft. And then they went all the way to the NBA Finals, and Derek Lively, his defensive impact was a large reason they got all the way to those NBA Finals. Daniel Gafford was a massive part of it too. But I'm looking at it like that. Like if a team was saying, we're really close to winning, but we just need a defensive center who's also a rim runner, who can back up our starting center, who can block shots, who can hold down the paint. I feel like Kaman Maluach could be like a Derek Lively Dallas Mavericks pick for a team. That's the only reason I'm saying that Kaman Maluach could be like a win now draft pick for a team. But I don't see the Sixers taking Maluach at number 3, especially because, they have a Dembona, and we don't know if Joel Embiid is healthy or not. That wouldn't really make any sense either. I think I'm just reading the last paragraph of this and trying to figure out really what he means by the possibility that Philadelphia, angling to win more games, goes in a different direction and moves Ace Bailey down a spot or 2. I don't know. But I don't think any player after him, we want to win now, so we're not going to take Ace Bailey. We're going to take who? It doesn't make any sense. Who's win now? Unless you go Con Kneppel, because there is a community of Con Kneppel fans on Twitter that believe he should be drafted much higher. Con Kneppel, 6'7", almost 20 years old. He is you could call him a Klay Thompson style player, I think. I think his playmaking ability, his ability to drive to the rim and kick out, and just his playmaking ability in general, it might be a little bit inflated because he's not in the NBA yet. I guess all of these players are inflated when you look at their highlights because they're not in the NBA yet. So I think people see his playmaking and his attacking the rim type of stuff and say, well, he's not just a shooter, he's also a playmaker and can handle the ball. And there's people talking about, I don't know, Con Kneppel being a point guard. Somebody compared him to Tyrese Halliburton, which is just the weirdest, most random comparison I think you could make. But I wouldn't be incredibly angry at Con Kneppel draft pick by the 76ers. I think that would require trading down, and I have a couple of trading down scenarios coming right up. But if you're talking about, it still doesn't make sense. The Sixers can't pass on Ace Bailey to draft a win now player. There's not a win now player there. If you're going to say Con Kneppel is a win now player, that's fine. I could agree with you. I think you're looking at like a Dalton Connect. I thought Dalton Connect was a win now player. I thought he was a player who would contribute year one, and he did. And when the Sixers drafted Jared McCain, I was mad because I thought we should have got Dalton Connect because I thought he was an NBA-ready wing who could come in day one and give you that. He ended up not getting hard. Did he even play in the playoffs? Here's my point about players this young. Dalton Connect was unplayable in the playoffs. He's not ready yet either. So I think people are looking at Con Kneppel, they're watching his highlights, and they're seeing Klay Thompson, and they're with a little bit of playmaking, and they're just overrating it a little bit because you don't know if he's going to be ready as a rookie. But if you want to say Con Kneppel is NBA ready, I'm fine with it, but the 76ers would have to trade down to get there. What I'm saying is I don't see them, what this article says, passing on Ace Bailey at number 3 to draft another player without trading down. I don't think that makes any sense. That's what I'm saying. Brian Pumper, what's up, man? I'm not drafting a guy named Valdez who plays hard. These geeks are killing this sport. Bring back bullying. I don't... I mean, okay. I think VJ Edgecombe... He's talking about VJ Edgecombe. I mean, you're not drafting him because his name is Valdez. VJ Edgecombe could very well turn into an NBA superstar. Nobody knows. You know? He could be... Gilbert Arenas. He could be Anthony Edwards. He could be the next Michael Jordan. He could be the next Kobe Bryant. He could be Michael Carter Williams. That's a terrible comparison, but I don't know. He could be Derek White. He could be Drew Holiday. I don't know if I agree with these comparisons either, because these guys are pass first point guards. He could be, yeah, I don't know. But I mean, yeah, I guess his name is Victor. I don't know. They call him VJ. But anyway, where was I at before a very insightful super chat from our favorite super chatter, Brian Pumper? Oh yeah, Con Kneppel. This leads me to a couple of trade down scenarios for the 76ers. And here's one of them. We're back on the Lauri Markkanen thing. Okay, I don't think this is not happening. You know, again, unless. So anyway, this first one, you get rid of Paul George and the 3rd pick, and you give the Jazz a future first-round pick for Lauri Markkanen and the 5th pick. Whew. See, if I was gonna draft Con Kneppel or Maluach, if I was more confident that Joel Embiid is going to be healthy and we're going to be back in playoff contention, yeah, I would do that. I would straight up do that. I would do that if I was more confident that Joel Embiid is going to be healthy, because let's not forget, when Joel Embiid is healthy, you are a championship contender. So if I was more confident that Joel Embiid was going to be healthy, I would take Lauri Markkanen, and then I would draft probably Maluach at number 5, to be honest with you guys, because I think he's that rare of a size. I think 7'2", 250, and can jump like that. You don't see it. Look at drafts from how many years, and find me a 7'2", 250-pound guy that can jump. You know, I think Maluach's size and athleticism is super rare, and that's why I would take him. But I think I would do that. DJ, you have to start lying and say that Joel is healthy, so on draft night we can trade him and the number 3 pick for San Antonio picks, or for Cooper good contracts. Holy shit, man. Even if Joel Embiid's healthy, if Joel Embiid was coming off of an MVP season, he's still 31 years old, right? Let's say Joel Embiid didn't get hurt last year. The Sixers got to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to the Boston Celtics. And Joel Embiid had another MVP season and won his 2nd MVP. First of all, the Sixers wouldn't be trading him. They would be coming right back and trying to win again. This is where I always land with Joel Embiid. If he's healthy, you're so good that you're not trading him anyway. If he's not healthy, he doesn't have any trade value. Joel Embiid is impossible to trade. And I don't think you're not trading number 1 for him. Why would San Antonio trade for Joel Embiid? Try to pair Joel Embiid and Wembanyama together? I don't think that's a great idea. But thank you for, I know you're joking, but thank you. Thank you for the support. And if you actually think I have that much influence on what people think, well, I don't. The people in charge don't know who I am. They might know who I am. Daryl Morey might know who I am because he's active on social media and I've insulted him 10 million times. But anyway, this first one, I would do that, bro. I would do that one. This next one, Pelicans get the 3rd pick. Sixers receive 7th pick and a future first-round pick. Again, yeah, if I wanted to trade down for Con Kneppel or Maluach, that's a way to do it. You get another first-round pick out of it for the future. The Sixers don't have a ton of first-round picks in the future, so I don't hate it that much. But I think that if you're playing for the future and you're not playing for win now, you're just drafting Ace Bailey. You know? It's one or the other. You're either trading out of it to get a guy who you think is going to help you win now, which I don't think any guy in this draft is outside of Cooper Flagg. Or you're drafting players that you can develop over the next couple of years. So why would you trade down to develop another player and get a future first when Ace Bailey has the upside that he has? I don't see that one happening. Lauri Markkanen in the 5th pick, that's a bang because you get rid of the Paul George contract. Philadelphia celebrates another loser leaving town, and you get Lauri Markkanen in the 5th pick. But this next one, I don't think I go with that. Here's another one from Sixer Daily on Instagram. The Brooklyn Nets receive the 3rd pick and the 35th pick. So you're trading your 1st and your 2nd. And the 76ers get the 8th pick, where they draft Con Kneppel. 19th pick, where they draft Rasheer Fleming. And they get their 1st-round pick back from the Brooklyn Nets, who they traded in the James Harden, Ben Simmons trade. Our luck, we make that trade and Con Kneppel's gone before number 8. If I do that trade and Maluach is on the board at number 8, I'm taking him. You're trading Ace for 2 firsts? I don't think so. I just don't think so. I don't think the draft is deep enough. It doesn't make sense to pass on a player with the upside as high as Ace Bailey to get 2 later first-round picks. I just don't think it makes sense. Again, I think if you trade out of the 3rd pick, it's because you think you're close to winning now, which Daryl Morey claims that he is. But you would need to land a player who helps you win now, like the Lauri Markkanen and the 5th pick from the Jazz. The Jazz would have to be crazy high on Ace Bailey to give up Lauri Markkanen and the 5th pick for Paul George, Ace Bailey, and a future first. And at what point does Danny Ainge try to turn the Jazz into a winning team? You know, we talk about how long the Oklahoma City Thunder tanked for, or the Sixers. How long are the Jazz tanking for, bro? Holy moly. I was going to talk about a couple other things in this video, but I don't think I'm going to. I am going to go to the phone line. If you want to call me and ask me a question or have a hot take or something, call the number 951-981-7683. We got Elliot on the line. Let me see if I can get Elliot up in here, man. Yo, Elliot, you're on the show, man.
Yo, DJ, I'll make it quick and simple.
What's going on, man?
You take Ace, and you do it for this reason. The way that Daryl Morey has shaped this roster, it's never going to happen because we're Sixers fans and we'll never see happiness. But the way that it could work out is if Joel Embiid is healthy, if Paul George is healthy, whether Sixer fans want to hear it or not, you can win a championship. It's not going to happen, but you can. So you take the guy who has the most upside, because when we don't win a championship, you then regroup in 4 years. You got Tyrese Maxey, who's 28, Jared McCain, who's 25, Ace Bailey, who's 22. That's your core. You go with that. If Daryl Morey wants to win right now, okay. If you get everyone healthy, you have a shot. If you go and trade down for a guy who okay, he's a more ready to win prospect, and then you still lose, well, now you're screwed in the future because now you don't have the upside that you thought you had.
Yes.
So I think it's dumb. Just stay at 3, take Ace. He's going to be a heck of a player. Philadelphia, we got to be patient. That's all I got.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do, man. And I want to ask you a question before you get out here, but I think that's what they're going to do. Yeah. I think they're towing the line of like they're kind of win now if people are healthy, and they kind of have a future to be excited about if everybody's not healthy. And you're right. I think that's exactly why you draft Ace Bailey. But what about the Lauri Markkanen one? What about the Paul George and number 3 for Lauri Markkanen and number 5? Not that that's even possible. Yeah. Not that Danny Ainge would even do that. But if it was possible, would you do that?
If you got to give up the 2028 Clippers pick, I'm out. I'd rather just keep it. I don't think Lauri Markkanen brings you over the top. Yeah, it's nice to get off the Paul George contract. I think that's why you would do it. But man, listen, 5 and Lauri for straight up for Paul George and 3, you could convince me. But why are you? Just let this thing fail. Can we just let this thing fail finally?
Yeah, I think it's going to. I feel like it's an 87% chance they got Ace Bailey at number 3, man. Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, DJ.
Shout out to Elliot on the phone line. Yeah, he's absolutely right. That's why you take Ace Bailey. You get a prospect for the future who's not going to help you win now, but if Paul George and Joel Embiid are healthy, you have a chance to win now anyway. You're not drafting a player to help you win now. You're drafting a player for the future no matter what you do. So you take the player at 3 with the highest upside. That's what you do. That's just what you do, man. I don't know why anybody would think you do anything else. Keep the 2028 pick. We might be able to get Gilbert Arenas' son. Yeah, but I haven't even looked at. I mean, it's kind of crazy to look at NBA prospects in 2028, but I think the Clippers are going to be horrendous by then, and that could very well be a number 1 overall pick in the draft. And if that's Gilbert Arenas' son or somebody else, I agree with you, RJ. Caller on the line. What's your name and where are you from, man?
DJ, it's Andre from Canada.
Andre, what's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Not much. Just trying to figure out a way to fix the million problems that the Sixers have right now.
What you got, man?
But no, my big thing is I don't know, man. Maybe I'm stuck on this one point about like Embiid, man. Like we gotta find a way to trade him. Just because like I feel like with the top picks with San Antonio, with Dallas. They got players that, like, if you pair Embiid with them, it looks kind of sexy on paper, right? Like San Antonio, for example, I feel like Joel and Wemby could be like the next Duncan Robinson combo, or in Dallas, Embiid and Anthony Davis, same thing. So it's like, I feel like if we could convince teams that like he's healthy and motivated, we could flip him like for some good picks and stuff,
I think you're onto something. You're only onto one thing, because I don't think anybody in their right mind is trading for Joel Embiid after only playing 13 games last season and being on a max contract until 2029. That is absolutely insane for anybody to trade for him. But you mentioned the craziest GM in all of sports, and that is Nico Harris of the Dallas Mavericks. Yes. If there's one guy that would do it, it'd be like, look, I told you, I built a championship roster. Now we got Joel Embiid.
Exactly. But I guess between Embiid and Kyrie, that's kind of a long shot. We're gonna have to like pretty much like drug him to make that trade. Yeah. Yeah. No, but I mean, San Antonio, I feel like is more possible because they already got De'Aaron Fox. You got Wemby. I mean, if we were to give them like Embiid and the 3rd pick for like the number 2 pick and the 14th pick, and maybe matching contracts, maybe that could be something.
Do you know how crazy that would be if Adam Silver walks up to the podium and says, like after the Cooper Flag pick, and he's like, "We have a trade to announce." The San Antonio Spurs are trading the 2nd pick in the draft to the Philadelphia 76ers for Joel Embiid and the 3rd pick. And you know how insane that would be. I think there's a
That
zero.
would be, right?
I think there's pretty much a 0% chance of that happening, but that would be pretty crazy. And I would do it. I don't think Daryl Morey would do it anyway, but I would do it.
Yeah, I would too, man. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it takes Embiid to like actually like maybe post some pictures on social media, show that he's working out and like he wants to be dominant again, and then maybe. But
again,
I don't know. I mean, I guess
if Joel Embiid's if he's healthy, you don't trade him anyway. That's the thing. Because
me personally, I
he's
would,
healthy,
because I feel like he's lost interest in the franchise.
But if he's healthy, we're talking like 2022, 23 MVP level Joel Embiid. That's what I'm considering healthy. And if he's that, you have a chance. You're a championship level team. So you don't trade him if he's healthy.
Yeah, I agree. If he's healthy, but I mean, I just think like he's tired of the front office stuff, man, with Morey and Nurse and stuff like that. He's shown like his interest level has been like dropping each year, in my opinion. Maybe it's because of the knee and stuff like that, but I just feel like even if he's healthy, like I don't like having like players that don't want to be there there. I'm just at least let's get some players that'll be competitive, that'll play hard.
If he requests a trade, that's a totally different topic. But hey, man, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it. Good stuff.
All right,
man. Thanks. Take it easy. Shout out to Andre from Canada, up in Canada, giving the show a call on a Friday afternoon. Shout out to 322 people in here, man. Hit the like button for me one time. Shizzo Flex, keep it 100. I don't want a one and done. This third pick is our future for the next decade. Rather just build and have multiple bites at the apple. No quick fixes. Keep it 100. I don't want a one and done. What does that mean? So you wouldn't take Cooper Flagg at number 1 in this draft because he was a one and done. You wouldn't take Dylan Harper at number 2 because he was a one and done. You wouldn't take Ace Bailey at number 3 because he was a one and done. Everybody's a one and done these days, bro. Isn't Con Kneppel a one and done? Isn't Maluach a one and done? Isn't VJ Edgecombe a one and done? Isn't Trey Johnson a one and done? Isn't everybody in the top 10 a one and done? Rather just build and have multiple bites at the apple. I don't know what that means. What do you mean you would rather just build? So you don't draft Ace Bailey because you would rather just build? Isn't drafting Ace Bailey building? One and done means you don't trade for a player who plays 1 or 2 seasons and wins a ring and Oh, is that what you're saying? Am I tripping? Do I need more coffee this morning? Hold up. Hold on, let me read it again. Keep it 100. I don't want a one and done. So you don't want a Kevin Durant? I don't know, bro. I don't know, Shizzo. I tried to read it. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. You draft Ace because you can win now and win later when he develops. I agree with that. Let's take one more caller, man. I believe it was my man Martin was waiting on the phone line. Martin, what's going on?
What's going on, man? This is Martin.
What's up, Martin?
What's going on, man? Just wanted to say, man, I think Harper's going to be the ideal fit at this point. He's a true point guard. He would allow Maxey to play off the ball where he belongs. You know, looking back at that when we had James Harden, that's when Maxey did the best, when he was off ball. Then we let Grimes walk and use that money to find a power forward, man. What you think about that?
Well, yeah, first of all, like, I don't think you can get Dylan Harper. I agree with what you're saying about Dylan Harper, but I think he gets drafted by the Spurs at number 2. I think that's almost a lock. Unless the Spurs, again, they have De'Aaron Fox and Stephen Castle, and it's very possible that the Spurs want to put Ace Bailey in that mix over Dylan Harper because of the fit. That is very possible. If he's at number 3, absolutely, dude. Hell yeah. I think everything you're saying about Dylan Harper, I completely agree with. And the Tyrese Maxey point, I think you're 100% correct about that too. I don't know if Nick Nurse believes that, because we saw last year he just keeps running Maxey at point guard, even when Jared McCain had some good games at point guard. I would have liked to see Jared McCain at point and Maxey at the 2 a lot more. But I completely agree that Tyrese Maxey, I think at this point, I think we've spent years kind of trying to decide what Tyrese Maxey is, and I think we landed at this, that he's a really good scoring shooting guard. You know what I mean? Who's going to make some plays, but is not like a facilitating point guard from the top of the key kind of guy. And he played, he's a lot better off ball. I completely agree. I've been saying that for a long time. And yeah, Dylan Harper, I think he's NBA ready right now, and I think it would be a good fit. I think I agree with you on that. And then you use the Grimes money to try to find a power forward, or you use the Grimes money to re-sign Yabusele. Yeah, I agree with that. What do you think about Jared McCain, man? You don't think Jared McCain's a point guard?
I do. I just don't like him and Maxey together in the backcourt, man. You got two guards under, 6'3"? They're going to get torched on defense, man. I like McCain coming off the bench. You know, you can rotate the three guards. And, I see the chat saying don't let Grimes go anywhere. But, Grimes is asking for 15, 16 million a year.
Dude, I saw 20 or 25.
Based on what? The few games he played against, with G Leaguers, I'm letting Grimes walk. You could find another Grimes. I think we really need a power forward, man, in the worst way.
We definitely need a power forward. And I agree with your take that, that's another reason that Dylan Harper is so sought after, man. He's 6'6", 220, you know what I mean? He's a really good NBA size, man, and I agree with you on Maxey and McCain's pairing being undersized. Yo, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. Good stuff, man. All right. It's just hung up. But yeah, dude, great call. Great calls today, man. Thank you guys for calling the show. And I agree with that point also. The chat saying don't let go of Quentin Grimes. There's when it comes to Quentin Grimes, there's a lot of people that do this. Oh, he only did this at the end of the season because he was playing with G Leaguers. He wasn't playing against G Leaguers, We got to call like it is. Actually, playing with G Leaguers, it's a lot harder to get these numbers off because you can't get open because everybody's focused on you. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about Lauri Markkanen and we talk about the fact that he only averaged 17 points per game last season, everybody points out the fact that he was on a terrible team. Okay? So then how did Quentin Grimes do this? 44, 30. Look at these numbers, bro. This is game by game. 25, 35, 29. He was cooking so hard, they put him out with the illness the next game because they were winning too many games. They won this game right here against Toronto, and then they sat him the next game with an illness. That's how good he was. 28, 46, 28, 25, 26. Sat him out again. Cooking too hard. Winning games. 22. Sat him again. 26, 24, 28, 29. 17, 11, and 7. Bruh. Quentin Grimes was cooking. And I don't think it's that easy to find another Quentin Grimes. He's 24 years old, and I don't care who he was playing with or who he was playing against. If you have a 24-year-old player who can drop 44 points in an NBA game, he's damn good. I don't think there's any way to spin this into you can find another Quentin Grimes or have some kind of negative output on it. Not only that, Quentin Grimes was a McDonald's All-American. He was a Jordan Brand Classic participant. He was a Nike Hoop Summit participant. And he won MVP on the FIBA America's Under-18 Championship team. He won championship MVP on the FIBA America's Under-18 USA team. And who else was on that FIBA America USA Under-18 team in 2018? Tyrese Maxey. Quentin Grimes won MVP. Championship MVP in the AmeriCup Under-18 USA team. He was the MVP of this team at 17 years old. And Tyrese Maxey was on that squad. And obviously Tyrese Maxey had some development time and developed into what he is. But Quentin Grimes, I'm just making a point that he was always this damn good. You know what I'm saying? He was always this damn good. They're in a tough situation with Quentin Grimes, man. Because yeah, you know, like it's looking like he could command $20 million a year, and the Sixers can match it, but do they want to match it? You know, it'll be interesting to see what they do with in the Quentin Grimes situation, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. Grimes can be our Andrew Nemhard. I like that take, RJ. I like that. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. I will be live once again. Maybe tomorrow morning. Maybe I'll wait till Monday. You never know. You guys are awesome. Thank you for continuing to grow this channel. Hit the like button one time, and